Honestly, when the hot seaweed wasn't there yet.
Hello and welcome to your Dad Learns StarCraft 2. This is a Zerg vs. Protoss, where, it just ended up being more of a macro-ish type game, and it just ended up going pretty well, so I figured I'd share that with you, in case you're having trouble with some Protoss. So, in the lower left-hand corner, playing the Protoss this game, my opponent, Vamak. In the upper right-hand corner is your hero, your champion, your dad, playing Zerg the way that he does. So, I'm going to start trying to make these videos a little bit shorter, unless I'm doing a specific analysis. So we're going to be going through at least 2 times speed, and going with my view. I'll just be explaining what I'm trying to do, and trying to keep up with what's going on. So right now it's just a standard opening, making some workers, make my hatch gas pool, saturate my gas, have 16 on minerals. And you see, I'm just waiting for stuff to start popping off. Get my Overlord out, and pool pops, make a queen. My second hatch comes out, make another queen. I have 6 Zerglings coming, just in case they do anything like adepts or anything like that. I like to have those in case they're cannon rushing. I'd send my Overlord to scout my natural a little bit. So queens come out, 1 injects, 1 throws a tumor, so I can start doing creep spread. And I immediately start making 2 more queens, because at this point, I like having a lot of queens to defend against early stuff like Void Rays, Oracles, Banshees, any kind of early air harass. So, have queens popping out. I'm stacking some injects, so I'm not immediately spreading with my 2 extra queens. And I'm setting up Zerglings to be kind of just like alarm bells. If those Zerglings die, I know their army's moving out, and I can produce units with whatever larvae I have to try to defend against that army. Third base is almost done. Roach Warren's almost complete. It's just more Roach Warren's coming up, and I've got my second mineral line pretty much saturated. Let's check it out. It's not saturated yet, but there, now it is. I'm making some geysers. Hopefully I'll start making more down here, because I usually like going Roach Hydra to start out with and see where the game goes from there, and make upgrades and that type of thing. And that's pretty gas intensive. So making 4 gases, have 3 bases going, I have a little bit of safety units. Let's check it out. I got 10 roaches, 6 Zerglings, so pretty safe. They haven't hit my alarm bells yet, and I've got an Overlord at one of their 3rd base locations. So as far as I know, they haven't really expanded past their 2nd base. And now I'm just saturating my 3rd, then I'm going to start pumping out army. I have 3 more queens coming for defense. Defense, stacking injects, that type of thing. Stacking injects is nice, because then it gives you like a buffer in case you don't remember to stack your injects as well. Because if you don't inject properly as a Zerg, your army's going to be really underpowered. So you either have to make multiple macro hatches or get your injects popping off correctly, and even then you probably still want a macro hatch if you're going to remax. So stacking injects just helps give you some leeway, it gives you a safety net, because once one inject comes off, the next one on the stack will just automatically start. And there's my macro hatch almost done. So I A-moved across the map, spread out some Zerglings. I know they don't have a 3rd. The fight looks like it's going to be bad, so I just back off. And behind this, I've been making roaches, still making upgrades. And my gas is ultra low. You might notice up here, my minerals are really high, which is why I make these 24 Zerglings. I'm still on 4 gas. If I'm trying to make this many upgrades and they're just starting to take their 3rd, which does no because they attacked my Zergling. So now I can set up an attack to try to take out their 3rd base. But making Hydraliston, as I was saying, if you're trying to go Roaches, Hydras, upgrades, and use a bunch of early gas, then you really need to have a bunch of geysers going, or a bunch of extractors going. I've had 4 going, but it's not enough to keep up with the amount of larvae that I have to spend on making units. So some of my bases are oversaturated. Mineral fields are getting depleted. Got tons of energy on these queens. I should be stacking injects or making creep tomb or something. Oh, that's real cute. I forgot to saturate these, so I've really been working off just around two gas. And at this point, this is what I'm looking at. They attacked me. I've used my control group to move all my lings, which looks like I have a bunch of them, and just start attacking their third. And I backed off my roach army, kind of the high value army, and I threw away my my 24 zerglings or whatever it was, but I killed all their production there. And now my fourth base come up. Now I'm saturating it, and hope make a Hydralisk in, but I already have one of those as an accident, so I make a infestation pit and a spire because I want to be able to make my level 3 upgrades. I want to go to Broodlords eventually. I'm a big fan of Broodlords for late game, trying to break through bases. Alright, so I try to run my lings around and get to this third base. So I stop them from mining, and I just back this army off, while my other army is attacking into theirs. And since they split their army, I actually get some favorable trades against these Immortals. And they got greedy and tried to mine again, so I just throw these Zerglings back in, and they start killing all these probes. And during this whole time, I'm making 27 more units, 15 Hydras, 12 Roaches, making upgrades. Spire just finished, I believe. Spread and creep. And here come 13 more Roaches queued up. And I'm doing injects now. And make more geysers because, once again, I have so many resources and I'm so low on Vespene because I forgot to put stuff in my gas earlier. So another round of 26 Zerglings. Can always just do Zergling run-bys. And the important thing about this is I'm kind of keeping the protoss contained to like 2 bases. I'm not really, because I haven't taken out their third. But I cleared out their drones once, made them leave the drones and killed a few the second time. And I just keep remaxing. I've got 196 supply already. Or again, after attacking a couple times. And now I'm ready to just start, make another base, start getting my macro going, and throw another army at them. So I see them come down. So this army comes down, and they actually blink into all my ranged units, and I have my queens fighting. So I think that was really bad blink, because they blinked in front of their zealots, and their stalkers just got crushed. And I'm making 21 Hydras behind this, so I'm already at 186 supply again, and they're at 93. And now we're fighting, so I'm losing supply. But you know what? I've still got a lot compared to them. So I'm backing up, going to get some reinforcements. Bring some Hydralisks. And I'm making 7 Corruptors. And this is because Corruptors will turn into Broodlords, and that's how I plan to break their defense. Make an Ultralisk Cavern in case I need Ultralisks a little later. I like them a little better than Zerglings, I suppose. They're definitely stronger, but they take more supply. Right now I've got Broodlords coming. I'm spreading creep and basically just waiting for my Broodlords to come out so I can attack. I'm at 183 supply, they're at 97. Almost effectively have double their supply, and my 3/3 upgrades are coming. What upgrades do they have? They have 2/3 upgrades. So, not bad. They've been upgrading too. And cool thing about Corruptors, they can only attack air, but Colossus are so tall the Corruptors can attack them. And Colossus only attack ground, so Corruptors actually just kill Colossus. And once again, here come the Broodlords, sitting in the Broodlings, fighting. And if we look, I've still got over 190 supply. It's going down as the fight's going, but they've got 2 Colossus coming where I've got 20 more Roaches. And that's the power of being on, actually I can just use this. 5 hatcheries, 1 hive. 6 bases, that's naturally just 18 larvae. And if I'm remembering to inject them, which I'm probably not at this point, because I have so many of them that I probably haven't been paying attention to it. But larva hasn't been an issue. I have 36 sitting there, just because I have 6 hatcheries making them all the time. Yeah, just very, I wouldn't say very good macro. Like, I could have macroed better. I got not supply, but gas blocked early in the game, which made me gas blocked for most of the game. But all in all, I kept expanding, kept making stuff, and even though at one point the protoss had like 160 supply, I also got way more drones than them, but yeah, this base didn't lose drones. So they didn't expand beyond that. They've got this, but that's not going to do much for them. So even though the protoss had 150 something supply, and their units are definitely more value than Zerg units, I could just make so much that it didn't even matter. So, I hope you liked that video. Try to make these a little bit quicker than the other ones, so that it's not an unnecessary like 20 to 30 minute video. But if you enjoyed looking at that, watching that perspective, let me know. And definitely, if you liked it, hit that like button, share, subscribe, comment, anything, it all helps. And if you didn't like it, dislike buttons below. And until next time, I've been your dad. Thanks for stopping by. See you next time.